My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I see them yopo.
Asam SC Ewo Rage Hospital. Now, I want to put this on record. Asam SC or Rage Hospital, I say Ghana brand to be friend Ralph, and then a friend to be called Rage Hospital. Na omope treatment. Treatment na omope. Every hospital personnel no the way na omope the attention from the personnel monsankenti. Whatever happened there, we on Loud Silence TV, Loud Silence Media, we condemn it 100,000 times. It is condemnable. Nobody should sit on any platform to encourage it, whether there were casualties or whether there were not casualties. It is not acceptable for anybody to walk into any health facility to pressurize personnel in any form. In any form. Say something should be done. You whether do anything against any medical personnel, we condemn it outright. And I will never sit on my platform and say, where dear, now say, OMPP ni, where dear, Ralph, as I know, Sir Ralph na no, me social media no. He has never been on social media to tell anybody so NDC until he pulls out his party card to tell me, say, NDC on social media. Meti hey, I cannot refer to Ralph as an MP, NDC person. The same way I mean to me for NDC, MPP ni kaso NDC ni. No. Ain't I am speaking to him as a citizen of the Republic of Ghana and not as any party affiliate or any party sympathizer. I am speaking to him as a young man, as a Ghanaian who wants the betterment of this nation. Sometimes youthful exuberance. Sometimes the way we expect things to happen. Sometimes because of some situation we have gone in before and now we have experienced, we are forced to take action. But we need to understand this is a country governed by laws. In no way will I sit here and endorse or encourage anybody, no matter your background, to go into any health facility. To go into any health facility and be pissed off to the point where it becomes difficult for anybody to control the situation. No. So I condemn it outrightly. And this platform, we don't mince words when it comes to we making our point clear. Now, this issue now is CNO. It has been publicized everywhere. Now, the reason why I issue again momentum kakranana say there are people who deliberately want to politicize this particular issue. The reason why I'm saying say politicize and I say in any settings or organization, institution you enter, there is something called a management. And that management, it is their responsibility to make sure the day-to-day running of that institution, whether financial, whether maintenance, whether security, it is the sole responsibility of that institution's management to make sure those things are effectively run. There's a reason why the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, we're dedicating Kofobi se omunye some specific job bimano. Na san Kofono so eyin Kofobi se omundi some jumadi bimano. Your friend division of labor. President in Kwan to be enye jumani nyina no health minister. Health minister to me hospital bi anunti eno district directors. Anything Ghana Health Service, anything a head of department, anything hospital management, anything board. There's a reason why. And it's who is the President Mahama? We're to the 9 at the Ababe to say confornochia. Now it does not mean say President Mahama will breach law. It does not mean say President Mahama will need your oye. It is out of their courtesy. It is out of respect. But he is not obliged to leave the Flagstaff House to come to Confornoche, to come and check what every nurse is doing or whatever happens at Confornoche. It is not his job. That is why there is a CEO of Komfo Teaching Hospital, CEO of Kolebu Teaching Hospital. And see, there is something we need to understand. But you see, incidents where SC or Rich Hospital, no, over the years, it is beginning to look like we have to now sit back and look at people who are heading institutions, organizations, associations, people who at the end of the day have decided to hide behind associations, institutions, and positions to run this country down. And what we have seen, read, and today we are going to show you the other side of the story. The whole Ghana, the CCTV footage at a Rich Hospital no, is over 7 hours. We have it. And the Meboka Kratchero, after the show, no, we will publish the 7-hour video with a link. Na Ghana ni biya share. But there's something going on. Incident in a sea a year Rich Hospital. No. What we heard was that Ralph and Nenamfophobia ko Rich Hospital, and they have attacked a nurse. Where did we hear this from? It came from the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association for General Secretary, your friend David Chum Tenkrine. Picture, please, guys. This man, on the secretary of Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association, on the secretary. When the incident happened, we heard said the minister in charge, the sector, Akando, Honorable Akando, went to the hospital. It is not his job. But what will make a minister leave his office and walk to a hospital? Abra minister said there's management at the hospital that is supposed to make sure that anything that happens within the premises of that hospital is taken care of. Why do you think a minister, one, maybe a minister is see the distance from his office to that hospital, no, and what? It's out of curiosity and out of respect and maybe showing what we call showing some compassion for maybe Omomo Hospital or any Omomo. The minister decided to leave his office and quickly dash to that hospital. So one, the minister has done what he's not supposed to do, meaning the management of the hospital was supposed to take care of the matter. It was not even supposed to get to that point where the minister will leave his office to go straight to the hospital. But it's so interesting. Senka Semsi Hospital, the first thing you'll be asking and say, who is in charge of the hospital? Asante Kotoko Football Club, no. Bisha football match biya, FA Cup ya, player no Emma back pass. Mistakenly, ekoshe. So who your team no? Na so who be bisa na team nim perform ya. Who do you ask? Do you actually ask about team owner and why, and now you ask about who is in charge of the management of the team? The first question you ask is, who is their coach? And I'm a in this Asamasi, a hospital. Your district director, your heads of departments in that hospital, your management heads. Why do you think say anybody will come and straight up blame the minister who is overseeing all the hospitals in Ghana? This man came out as the secretary of the Ghana Nurses and Midwifery Association, and all that he did was that. All right, my team is saying that I should change the picture. Thank you, team. So let's change the picture. My team says me change the picture now. Very important because it's not that clear. All right, thank you very much, team. I appreciate this. Now this man, on air secretary. Now, the first question, if you are the secretary of an association, the first question you ask, so who be sir, now be sir. The first question you ask and then say, who is in charge? That's the first question you ask. Who is in charge? Who is in charge of the hospital? In fact, you So person we are very, very honest. You ask yourself, the first question you ask is say, that moment, who was in charge of the shifts? Because you start from the bottom and you start to read it to the top. It's Assembly Sianajua, who is in charge of the night shift? Who is in charge, or who was in charge of the afternoon shift? Who was in charge of the morning shift? So then you start to break the matter down. Then you get to know who is responsible, or whose responsibility was it to make sure this was actually curtailed. But this man, who is the general secretary of an association, and let us not get this wrong, the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association, it is like any other association in Ghana. It is a Ghana Tomatoes Union Association. It is a Molikoko Sellers Association. It is a Mampam Association. It is a Ghana Bar Association. An association. Remember, the Minister of Health, he is overseeing 71 associations under his ministry. 71 unions. 71. And this is one minister with his deputy overseeing the activities of 71 unions under his office. And you are the secretary of an association. What do you do first? You first ask, who is in charge? Now, this is what happened. My member video now you share strategically, interestingly. The video that was put out there is the only video making headlines, making rounds. Say, Ralph and now for a year rage, they actually went to brutalize a nurse. And this is the man who started this campaign. Remember, the president of the Ghana Registered Nurses Association, Midwives Association, Sama Ameno, Nikunu MPP chairman. This guy is her deputy. This guy is her general secretary. Now, this guy started a campaign, and that campaign was straightforward, geared towards the minister. And you ask yourself, why? Now, minister, no, why doing? Na minister, na ya, and the Assemblea Hospital, the management of the hospital has been left out. The board has been left out. But straightforward, the minister is the one being questioned. Now, the so-called video, this man and his group, the whole Ghana say, this is the confrontation and the assault is Seawall Ridge Hospital. And I know you have watched it. There's a reason why I want to play this video. Let's watch this. So this is the incident. The Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association for SA. Sa video na CCTV ne capture nyina. Inti CCTV na wo Ridge Hospital no. This is the video I'm capture. I'm say Ralph ne nanfofo a call the emergency ward no. They attacked a nurse. So far, this is the only video these people released into the system. And let me tell you on authority, they carefully released this little short video to help the narrative of this guy and his boss. Now, what's your video, no? These people now came out and said, nurse na muhuno video man, na muhuno video no. She was beaten to pop. In fact, nurse no ye bunin sem e bun kom ema ontume home. And this guy led a team of media men to go to the hospital to interview the nurse. Remember, Assembly CNO, Minister Abaho, Anameboa. Remember, Minister Sėcrėt, and through the press conference, time or tia semono, the steps he took. And Sana, this man who is called David Chum Tenkran, stepped in as an association secretary. It's just a mere association. Okay. Now, nurse, almost say Ralph moko bull no prepare no onie.
When he came in, he wanted us to leave everybody and attend to him. So we explained to him. Ralph. Okay. We explained to him, and then he was like, he wouldn't sit down. And my intern told him to get a card, a hospital card. He said, why should he get a hospital card? Because his name must be in the system. Once his name is tied in the system, it should everything should pop up. And my intern said, no, it's not done like that in Ghana. There he was angry because he was told it's not done that. That is not done in Ghana. And he started insulting us. We don't want Ghana to progress. Then he brought out the phone. But initially, I did a pressure dressing for him. Okay. In his finger that he said it was bleeding. It had bled. Okay. The blood had dried. Okay. So I just had to put a gauze on it so that we reassure him. Okay. He wasn't happy about it, so he took off the dressing I did for him. Okay. Then I approached him and I told him that I've done a dressing for you, so the patient, we have 2 trauma cases and other cases too are there. We want us to leave them. He got angry and he started yes. So he did this to me. And then when he went out, I don't know where the guys came from. Most of the health workers saw them earlier, so they had flee. I didn't see them. And then they, from my back to my chest, and then they were just...
Did they push you? Were you pushed? Or what did they do? What did they do to you?
Yes, I was hit. I don't know if it was a fist, a tap. I can't describe the...
But what happened to your hands?
Raphael, I don't know. Raph did this to me. He hit me with the phone with the fist. And I even dodged a couple of the fists. And they hit me all over. But right now I have a dislocation on my shoulder. And some headaches and body pain.
All right, thank you very much.
And to add that, he was telling us he will follow us to our homes and beat us. And if, take one life and...
Oh, he'll take one life. I actually said that.
Yes.
Okay. But we are happy to hear that.
So, this is the nurse. What happened was, on the narration, it just said, Ralph Bayano, na ade twa ne nsa, and on no crab Ralph de ade chichire so, and a Ralph you to tune and say, ade intina, omon one and tem, on it, ubi so about, on so, in here help. Now, they are approaching, inti Ralph Woof, no, can just say, Ralph, so, onya butre, and a Ralph so, onya butre, Ralph Pia Bontene, it's Ralph Bayano no de, the now for Bayana. Almost started so almost bono. Into almost boni shoulder. Ralph didn't say a boni seman and say when move a made bandage at chire. A man in Sabacono shoulder a dislocating tea a shahumem. Emma Bakubi will name say a tap. Brunica's a tap her, a different tap. Someone tapped you. And I say a fist punch. Also would name, but the other man it know him say a tap and I say a fist on one shut down. In the situation ye, or my Bruni ye. Now it's interesting. As somebody see, you know, the minister heard it. Minister Netia Samono. He quickly, in fact, let me play the minister's own statement to you. I mean, what minister's statement is?
On Monday morning, I sent a delegation to Ridge Hospital to ascertain the situation. When the delegation came up, upon debriefing, I realized that I had to follow up. And ladies and gentlemen, let me state this, that I have the health workers of this country at heart. And so any attempt by any individual or any group of people to try to incite the health professionals against government, pretending he cares more than us, is unfortunate. And we must stop that. It's an avoidable tension we must avoid. It doesn't help the sector. If indeed you are a practicing health professional in the sector, it doesn't help the sector. And so when the delegation came back, I had to follow up. I was in the company with the Deputy Director General and other directors of the ministry. We joined the medical superintendent at the Ridge Hospital, and I visited the victims. After going around, we had a closed-door meeting to discuss the issues, not insults. One, how to look at beefing on the internal security, staffing issues. So after the closed-door meeting, I came out to address the press to categorically condemn the physical attack. And that is the most important aspect.
So, Minister Asimo Kenyana say, "Assembly see no, Ejuada, otu nipa ote no because minister no office no any rage and what on a normal day the minister is not supposed to go there. And you know, no. The management of the hospital are supposed to take care of this. And then if they have to write a report to their superiors, they write it. And if it has to go up to get to whoever has to take the necessary action, it is not the job of the minister. But approximation, baby, an office no one hospital no one emu tia into otia some no otin inframe no say no otu nipa sa monko ho na monko assess situation and mobile report. It is not even my duty to go there because somebody is being paid to make sure say this hospital is run efficiently. Now delegation they came to tell the minister say this is what we went to find, and the minister said, I want to go there myself and find out what exactly is going on. I want to see it with my naked eye. It's minister now ekoye onante ko hospital, Ridge Hospital. And remember, minister because I say on the deputy director of the hospital no kan and a medical superintendent ne kan. That means ministers no koye no na sa nurse no na oho. Remember, sansem we nyina asino na ye won kofo a ye the hospital na show monsa, they have to make sure the right things are done. Ridge Hospital almost security. Yes or no? Yes. Ridge Hospital almost a management on standby in case there's an emergency. Yes or no? Yes. Ridge Hospital, there was senior doctors when even there is some kind of confrontation between junior nurses, senior nurses or whatever, they can step in, directors within. Yes. So the question here is, if anything like that happens, now Minister Kreniwa, report Benny Troy, who was in charge of that. Now, if this guy goes to a Ridge Hospital, who is the first person he's supposed to see? Or say, or a secretary of just an association. An association that is not backed by any federal law. It's just a mere association. It is also a doctor wako school onim nyansa no. Owura hospital what first no. Who did he consult? Who did he talk to? What report did he read? For him to come to that conclusion, to go sit on radio to start insulting the minister. Remember, the minister, so Papa or a doctor. I'm sorry, team. I got the old picture. Papa we saw a doctor. Also, TSS said the employer is the minister in charge of that sector. So his employer is Honorable Akando. I don't know whether he's a practicing lawyer, a doctor or not, but also a doctor or practitioner. Na say the Ministry of Health asia. It means to say this guy, his boss or their employer is the Minister of Health. Now, some say crazy. What will make you the employee? Go on radio and speak this way. Tie, na no asem on radio.
The fact that the whole thing came on social media. The young man was throwing his weight about in the hospital, which as a sector minister, you should know that that is not how things must be done at the hospital. The guy should have been arrested there and then. And I told you that the minister is always followed by a police officer. And therefore, if we have the wherewithal, if we think that things ought to be done rightly and properly, the guy should have been apprehended there and then. And don't forget that there's a police post just by the mortuary of Rich Hospital. They could have called for reinforcement. If you think that the duty of the police officer is just to protect the minister, that's fine. But while they were interacting with the guy, they could have called the police to come and apprehend him. How many minutes will it take for some police officer to even run from the mortuary of Rich Hospital to where they were standing?
Does the GRNMA have issues with the health minister?
We cannot have issues with our sector minister, but we think that we are not being treated fairly as nurses and midwives in Ghana. And you know that we have a lot of issues.
Under his tenure?
Not only, I mean, we have had a myriad of issues, but I mean, if you declare a strike action and a minister can decide that you go for a retired nurses and midwives to come and work and try to instigate groups that are within your fraternity that are not aligned with you to step in and all that, it tells you clearly that this is not somebody who is prepared to work with you.
So there's a lot of pent-up emotions, right? Because it looks like you're carrying. some.
Our action is not premised on any emotive.
Yeah. So as I was saying,
that we have issues at hand that ought to be discussed,
okay,
or issues at hand that ought to be resolved. I mean, if somebody goes to beat up a nurse, what is emotion about it? There's
the question I was asking,
that emotion caused against me this morning.
Well,
I think that what has happened is very wrong. Everywhere, meaning Ghanaians must condemn it.
So I'm asking again, because I asked you whether you have any issues with the minister, considering your tone, and then you mentioned that I asked you whether it's under his tenure, because you talked about nurses not being treated fairly, and then I asked whether it's under his tenure, and you mentioned that you have issues with regard to your conditions of service, and he had said that he was going to be called in retired nurses to step in while they try and resolve the matter, and you have issues with that. You believe that some of your conditions were not entirely resolved, but I thought you had made some progress where there was an agreement to give you some portion of that of those conditions, and then the subsequent ones will also be included in the 2026 budget. Or you didn't make progress. That's the reason you called off your strike, no?
Absolutely, but we're thinking that even in August, some of the items could feature. I hope you heard what the Minister of Finance sat on Joy FM, PM Express to
I don't know. I don't know what he said.
You may not listen. You might have not have listened to it. The minister said he wasn't briefed by the sector minister about the concerns of nurses and midwives. That should clearly tell you that if what he said is anything to go by, somebody somewhere is refusing to advocate for the well-being of the ordinary Ghanaian.
So, Oko radio so one or cabro for bako any ebusan say oh na assembly see no na omo eka for say oh na minister no onam ho no some police need n'echi ade na minister no call duru ho na the police need n'echi ade wa ma police ni no anche rafo mo e police station ho we oyakwasea we jimi onim nyansa. Every police officer in Ghana, you are signing with Juma. These are the fools wearing suit in Ghana. They need say every police officer, you are signing with Juma or Ghana. Said the minister here, it is your responsibility to protect the minister. It is not your responsibility to go to another jurisdiction and make an arrest. So your police ni kwa na woda bank ano. Na sa robbery so bank ni nim. Nipa mienu ko na hu a. It is not your responsibility to go there and arrest. Your job is to stay at the bank and give that bank protection. The police will come and take care of that. Into where Jimmy Crano, one kasa who kasa na also say, hospital one are your police depot. It is a hospital or the police depot or mortuary inside. So morgue no in China hospital or police depot. Whose responsibility is it? Our hospital to make sure say police officers from that morgue, police station or morgue in China, abaya arrest. Oye kwasia. Politics na oye. And I'm going to talk to the young nurses in Ghana. This guy, he is using young nurses on the more politics. And now Obama calls Subusa and say, asmesi. Na only health minister or problem ana. Oh, I said I don't know any problem ya. And also, Sibia Okasa no tone no. And also, now unya obi na se oko strike. Na okachira will say, or kwakofa retired nurses, ema be ye juma no. Abra on more discussion. Sa ni panyansa be no nim because onim say ye ne retired nurses ne fine. Adentina ono minister ne kofa omo. So it means say the all ye nyina no is because of what happened early on. And an Nigerian said this is when he has to make the minister unpopular. The agenda is not about what happened at the hospital. The agenda is to direct the pressure on the minister for people to think the minister is not doing his job. He's just a mere association secretary. Or is that toilet man or Cambodia? Now I'm there, yeah. Osako Asempa, listen to this fool again. I
think in this statement, it was not captured here, say, or more air for me committee, but subsequent interviews, the minister say we're putting a committee together to investigate in Samoa a course. Adiabako striking me in this statement, and they said, ministry said they want to investigate the circumstances that led to the reported delay in care. Like I said, most members in our hospital may have contributed to the course.
I've taken my the first thing okay, at least first, third, and fourth point. It makes sense. And what are the security implications? Well, you can't be proper behind country. They can't say, well, I mean, they are trying to beef up internal security. The police, they have a police post close to the mortuary and all that. All those people were there, and I started when you see it. And the security situation has not been improved, and we are not happy about that. At the time, here my tiny second point. Minister, who said there are systems over there. If he doesn't understand, he should get somebody to educate him. And I make a choice. Triad system, so yes, Obi, don't buy out. Maybe can't buy into the shame.
Yeah, Doc, I get you, but I think because
Triad Joe, Nia, who said, "Oh yeah, Reno, a immediate care," and I say, "A delayed care," as compared to others. If you are not the immediate care, they will attend to you immediately. So, open by time, I say others, and I say they will neglect you. They will give you first aid or whatever, but they will attend to other people who need more a year. It doesn't mean that they are delaying whatever. So that statement doesn't make sense to me at all. It doesn't make sense. Whoever wrote that statement doesn't even understand the hospital system. Or a farmer accident. What kind of life is that? Meanwhile, you are called DISASSOCIATES. You told your boss I am for statement. Sunday, no, you're man for call, and then man for call. And then you are any hospital directors now for Casanova. What delay? Now, what about a month for you in the whole getting a such a base of car near a friend? We any passing wine. No, there is system delay. What kind of delay? There was no such delay. They went strictly by the lay down protocol. And then just rap no now that you do. Obiat near structure based car near a friend. What's your name? Then the minister. See, what is even more annoying is what the minister did. His statements run contrary to his posture. Rap now, or no go this answer and phone, or embrace. Look at the pictures on social media. He affectionately embraced the rap guy, somebody who has been fingered as the perpetrator of that heinous crime. You embraced him, and then the guy whispered into his ear, and he was smiling. Whether it was sexing or whatever, how did the guy go to know that the minister had come there? I'll rush about immediately.
Yeah, Doc, I get your point, but I just wanted to draw your attention, sir. In all of this, it is the Minister of Health we are talking about. Some of the statements might sound a bit too harsh. As far as Oyo sector minister, you should be minded by that.
I agree with you, Obi, but you see, Papa how can businesses like this? It's a case of disrespect. You go and embrace the very guy, and look, initially, he was being defended. So, management. It's not true. Look, respect.
So you see, yeah. Now, first interview now, boy, no. His argument was that strike see and a minister could fire other people to replace interim. Say, omo negotiate no retired nurses enye dwuma no. In the first interview no, or show the reason why or no embu minister no. In the second interview no, the problem you say minister ni nimu nyansa. The ministry released a statement. It is not the responsibility of the minister to even come to the hospital. It is not. Now, Mumiente minister the reason tia Ralph na ama aponchireni anyway AD minister na temno. The minister was accompanied by other people. Remember, the minister of health is not only minister for nurses and doctors. He's a minister for Ghana. At that point, Ralph no, he has not been charged. He's not a criminal. No police officer has handcuffed him. No official complaint had been made that Ralph standing at the hospital is a criminal or is under criminal investigations and nobody can go close to him or he cannot talk to anybody. It is when minister comes to a place and nobody there has been charged of any criminality officially or is a criminal and somebody walks to the minister. The minister of health is not a minister for only nurses and midwives or doctors. The minister of health is a minister for Ghanaians. It's minister Drew on us obi stretching and sa echian in semno ka bibi chire na. Does it make it look say a seminar is because if it is a criminal matter, is the minister an investigator? If it is a criminal matter, is the minister a police officer? So if the minister out of courtesy and respect na otren in such will be na se nipa ka asem gu na suma, that reaction there will not stop the crime from being investigated. This is a fooler. He's hiding behind nurses, normal destroy nurses' life. Let's listen to the minister.
Let me at this point reiterate to the whole country that irrespective of the level of provocation at any health facility in this country, nobody, irrespective of your status in society, absolutely nobody has the right to attack any health professional in this country. That is the gravamen of the issue. No diversionary tactics about handshaking. That is what we must concentrate on, to send a clear signal that our health professionals working at the various health facilities are safe. And so after the engagement with the management, when I pulled out of the wards, then in fact, in the engagement with the management, I made it clear to them that I had listened to their side of the story. And therefore, as a minister, I will also listen to the other side of the story. And I then constituted a committee to look into the matter, bring out recommendations for implementation. A lawyer, a nurse, a medical doctor, an auditor, an HR person to go into the matter. Now, when I pulled out, my attention was drawn to a gentleman called Ralph, who was at the center of the controversy. And so he was working towards us as a group. The medical director was with me. The deputy director general was also with me. Then I asked, why did you do this, gentleman? When I asked, most of you were there. I mean, the press, you were there. So you can attest to what I'm saying. You were there with me. When I asked him, the gentleman then stretched his hand, shaking me, and tried to whisper something into my ears. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, should I push the guy that don't whisper anything into my ears? Should I snub him? Should I shout at him? even if that guy has been prosecuted and sentenced to life imprisonment, and he stretches his hand to shake me as a minister, as a public officer, I have the duty to stretch and greet him. So let us not reduce the fact that I shook hands with him does not mean that I should stop any measure or any steps that the ministry or government will take to unravel the situation.
So basically, Minister Nekohono, Ubia Abrante Ralph na he was in the middle of this controversy. Police in Chino. The hospital has not made any official complaint to the police. At that moment, Ralph is not a criminal. The management of the hospital know the right thing to do. In fact, issue ni see, say there was security or police station where what did the security do? It wasn't because onim de oyo he was doing pure politics. At a point, otumi be an okra catch the ministers and wo ye ana. This guy, okasa wa asempano, obi na no busa minister na wo minister wo health minister wo ye kuani ana. Sa nkwasiafo we bi na yaso so mo so wo Ghana. Akando is a farmer and there's nothing wrong being a farmer. We need more farmers in Ghana. The president of the Republic of Ghana is one of the biggest farmers in Ghana. Most of the rich people who are intelligent in Africa are into farming. But this guy who says he's a doctor, debi ameka se we mu no mo jimi. Debi ameka che Ghana for say san kwasiafo we no omo jimi. This guy is going in, he's doing politics. You know why? Mamika be big trouble. For him to even just insult farmers. Only any position biao, a association or a secretary. Meti ya kwasia we chira do Legon. I hope it is not right. I hope it is not true. Because if you are a lecturer, you are somebody at the University of Ghana, for this guy to stand on or to sit on radio, national radio, to say, Minister, are you a farmer? I expect people who are rational and intelligent in Ghana to make sure whatever position this fool is occupying, he needs to resign. Kwasiawe needs to be kicked out. This guy is using the nurses for his own political vendetta. There is a calculated attempt to sit behind the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association to do politics and destroy people. They don't like Akando. In the previous administration, how many times did you see the Minister of Health enter a hospital without any announcement? How many times did you see that? Not NC. For 8 years, Ajima Menu, the chain smoker, never entered any hospital. Impromptu. And I said, without announcing, a BNC that. Do you know? For the past 8 years, what these people enjoyed as the leadership of GRNMS, whatever, no, they were being broadcast by the ministry, politicians. Including BB, they have this cartel, and it is led by this guy and the president of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association. This is what they do. A buying buyer every year be a momoka. Now, since Akando took over, Akando made sure, say, he wasn't going to use his office to be buying cars for people who lead associations. And that was from day one. Some of them came together to say, we are going to embarrass this government and whoever is the minister. And then they started striking. The president of this association, Nikuru, MPP chairman. So this boy right now, the lady knows, says she has been exposed politically. Into onwe take a step back. And Oma Akwawe MPP bidding. Into the agenda is that let us disgrace the minister. Let us disgrace the government. Because Oshe Asamoah is a purely managerial issue. A purely managerial. The minister came in out of courtesy. Nobody can blame the minister for what happened at Ridge Hospital because Sir Minister Accra, Asam si Obuasi Regional Hospital and now Obuasi District Hospital. Do you expect the minister to come all the way to Obuasi to issue an arrest? Are you stupid? The minister took steps all because of proximity. Baby an office war, any baby a rage hospital war. That is why the minister, out of courtesy and also feel a sense of responsibility, walked there. It is not the responsibility of the minister to issue an arrest or arrest anybody who comes to the hospital to cause chaos. It is you calling yourself a doctor. You sit back and you ask yourself, why should I even blame the minister? And that go to the point to blame the minister's police officer who is guarding him. Is it the responsibility of the police minister's security to arrest somebody at the police at the hospital? But you see, I'm about to the level whereby they are even insulting farmers. When you be minister, now minister, is he a farmer? Yes, he's a farmer. And he's a well-to-do farmer. And he has made a lot of wealth from being a farmer. The same way reasonable, intelligent people who really want to make decent wealth go into farming. Not like fools like you hiding behind titles. So the reason why they have this fight with the minister is all because the minister is not doing what Ajima Medu Dems were doing for them. They were expecting, say, a business society, a candle will come and buy V8 for them. And that the moment they do that, what happens is they say they don't talk your matter. And it's for 8 years, you never saw these pigs speak against any minister. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo made the minister of health because that is how they saw it. Those ministers were every day, every time sorting them out. Into right now, no, if Akando is here paying this unannounced visit to the hospitals and trying to find answers or solutions to things that they are hiding, no? And now Akando also not giving them that cards. They have ganged up to disgrace and destroy the government. How can you sit on TV and blame a minister into some way you see, ekosi wo kwabre and kabega minister say on for planning ko na onko solve issue na we kwasia. Now let me talk to the reasonable nurses. Mameka be binchiramo. Sanko for we, they are using you people for money. I'm telling you. Now, as a nurse, busa se bibi cry how ewo income prom baby a we adwuma no na so person association we a utia dues mano de bia you tell salary ma they take some from your salary as an association. Ask yourself as a nurse, since you joined this association, baby a we adwuma, your working condition, so person o pass on a message cry, what are the kind of process I will film and sana kwasia we ate? Ask yourself. The nurses in Ghana now, Moshesa association with us. Your fundamental problems now, you expect your leadership to even give you a listening here. When you try to call them directly, what do they tell you? They tell you, say, talk to your district director, district head and secretary, talk to your district operations manager, talk to your district head and chairman before the district chairman can take your complaints and take to the regional before it gets to the national. It's just an association. But they have created those barriers to make themselves feel important. He is doing politics with the nurses. They are using them to make millions. Until the moment any politician comes in as a minister and blocks that path that makes them make money, they start to gang up against the politician. And that is what you are seeing here now. Let me show you something. I have a 7-hour footage of what happened at Eyedien Eo Ridge. After this show, we released the 7-hour footage, a CCTV. The CCTV footage. Ralph Mokoho, they see it after. It is in a 7-hour footage. Nobody has this. Menkwana is a 7-hour footage. And I'm going to put it out there. You know the reason why they put that short video out for people? It was for propaganda's sake. And intina, sa video you could not see a physical assault on any nurse, but they wanted the narrative to look like that. Inti, how long were they at the hospital? Make a rough mo. But the video, these people, because this guy we almost shared that hospital was CCTV room, and a 1-minute video. And they circulated it. They gave it to Paul Ademochi and the MPP platforms. And say, let this one look like the nurse was beaten to pulp. And it's in our video we are. This is the only video they put out there because they wanted to create the impression, say. But this video is a small part of a video of a 7-hour video. hwɛ video ni ye pa nurse na omo interview no ɔno na gyina lady na ɔhyɛ red ne chi no nurse na ɔsɛ ya bono no nurse we ɔno na hyɛ atade wɔ hwɛ ni ye nurse we a ɔkasɛ so ɔhyɛ Ralph video na mrekyerɛ na ɔno na gyina saa maame na ɔhyɛ red ne chi this nurse
when he came in, he wanted us to leave everybody and attend to him. So we explained to him. Ralph. Okay. We explained to him, and then he was like, he wouldn't sit down. And my intern told him to get a card, a hospital card. He just.
Na mpɛ sɛ mo hwɛ atade ɛhyɛ no nti hwɛ video na ɔno na gyina ɛyɛ deɛn nurse na ɔhyɛ atade red maame na ɔhyɛ atade red no nti ɔno krampo no the altercation no krampo no and shut down nkɔ no hɔ. Now, Mamin bought the original CCTV. It's a long thing. It's about 7 hours. Now, I'm going to play a bit of it. Time Ralph Eremu. Ralph Tenase. Ralph was asking them, Ralph EPA. Do you know, say, time Ralph more hospital, not police in you. There was a police officer in there. Why didn't that police officer arrest Ralph Mo if they were actually causing the chaos they said Ralph them were causing? Do you know, say, Satamana Ralph Mo na call hospital inside. Omu first, Ralph Tanasia or say or they goes or said two in same no. Do you know, say, in that 7-hour video, no, there was a police officer in the police station, in the hospital. There was a police officer on at post. So I want to ask, say, I didn't say police officer no answer Ralph Mo. Say na Ralph Mo de omo ye no. Say na Ralph Mo commit crime. I am saying I'm not going to justify any act that is unlawful, but I am talking in context of video na ekuta ye no any de ye no. That's because sir Ghana Registered Nurses Force Secretary no. He is trying to create the impression that there was no security officer at the hospital when Ralph Dems were there. Now, this is the original CCTV. Because of time, it meant to me about 7 hours in intro. But I'm going to scan through. So what you just watched is when they entered the hospital. Into Omuremono, you could see there was no agitation. It was Rafu went there, Oremuna, Akonya Red or Kachom so. We pra. Now, on any uncle for Bisun Abaye, Obiso pra serious pa channel. And also, make crab then and serious. Now, Omwa wanting what they need serious. So why are you people not showing any kind of their eagerness or what we call some urgency in your actions? Because media means some now obia or menene ba no they are no more serious than media no. But you could see the body language of the people or the nurses sitting there say they didn't really care that much because the issue is what by emergency obi dey here chen wo dey. But from what I know, they say so we're hospital. Now say a emergency. It does not matter the kind of emergency. Somebody needs to come to you. The moment it's an emergency, it could be minute, it could be major. Yan treaty emergency being chambi. And anything akwasi ampenyi nitina asempaka say obi echiebu. No, because obi wa nsa tumi twa. Kete otumi bleediwu. Obi wa or yarebia. Sa adie twa na it never stops. Into betumaka say, oh, I didn't try in sakeke. But that blood will never stop because the system, no, it does not have those things or whatever you guys call to stop the blood oozing out. Into obiwa obeba na niko kromotike na adie twa no. But sandi pano need any more dangerous chen obia na etwa. If it's a sandi pano oni anything na obetumi aya stopping moja no ya oni pebi wo sa. Into you don't treat emergencies as this emergency is bigger than this emergency. No. And it's Obiaba. No, I catch you say, this is the emergency ward. There is somebody with me who is also in a critical situation like myself. What you do is to give the assistance. It does not matter how big or small the emergency is. But you watch the video, you could see clearly, say, there was no sense of urgency there. You could see, say, he was trying everything possible to make sure, say, and I'm not defending Ralph here. If you are in that situation, maybe Anka would have reacted more than what he did, but it is not right. But the issue in say, when the guy entered the place, you saw it. Now, maybe glance it through, maybe say 7 hours footage. I'm going to go back to the video. There were people, your small boy be a young boy be the nenana baye, nenana. Or the nenana baye, nenana kutano emergency was in the video. I'll show you. There were nurses there. There were some nurses sitting in rooms. And there was a young man with nana kutano and ojina, and nobody was attending. Now watch this. The same time Ralph complaining about the sense of urgency. A man walking out to say okofana dam funankasa de nabano. The same time no obi tamne nana this is emergency center when you regular hospital OPD or something. No. This is emergency center. Obi kutane nana. Nana almost 80 to 90 years. Did you see any medical person there or so a nurse or show any sense of urgency? I'm asking. These were people there. They sat down and directed him. Visitors had still akonyano. Omokate said, go and put that old lady on that chair. This is Rage Hospital. Mo nurse for no, Sa Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwife Association. They are using you people. You see, now I'm going to take you inside the footage. Me say 7 hours. I have it. We will publish the 7 hours. Now Sa Kwasiana also here GRNMA secretary now. Okaka say Health Minister ni ekuenia na odidin ekuafo atem Kwasia sa no. All because we have allowed associations to take over our health sector. Association. We have allowed some fools who have put together an association making money out of us. That guy and the boss. The boy sat there with that old lady for hours. The video is 7 hours. That boy now, muhu video na mreche no. Oni abrewane tina kunwa so for almost 4 hours. Yeah. So me kasa me bo video ni bi a kire ma. Ansa na me run it through no he. Me kire wa otina ne ma me no e wa kunwa ne so. Sa hard still no. Abrewa 90 years no. The nurses sitting there did not care. Ma kire. Because there's a video there, 7 hours. This is a woman, Abrewa Owu. And yet, severe treaty, Mami Penny say, Woo. Wabet now de to check her pulse. Huh? The way she's even lying there, when you check her pulse, you can't get any pulse to check. This is a Rage Hospital. Kwasiane Kasano, our service or condition, service conditions, condition of services, is it a play here? My member video na men call Ralph for the end so. Me say 7 hours. Na adikudi ntia me ye we say me pese mo nurse fo kwara na mo Ghana no. Sa mo association no. Sa anko from di anim no. Omo use mu say moa. The omo ye no politics o. They want something for themselves. It is not you. Sa akwana na okasa odidi minister na tem no. Na ono odidi minister na tem no. Wo nurse na wo form na uhia bibie fra ban ho no. Oje sa wonsa beka. Ono ya association na otesoro na ono sa akwana edidi minister na tem na minister na ye wo pay or your employer no. Do you think say una nurse na wo sha form na uhia de e won tebuo mu no. Oje sa wonsa beka because kwasia ne tinkan ka cha minister say oyekuani ana wogimi. It wo tebuo mu no hwana e kasa ma won kan. Who is talking for you? Who is negotiating for you? The person now who to me amano debiano o salary ba ni atibi say association e kan wasma ba no. Or not think kan did minister na otua wo kanatem. Do you expect the minister to hear you? Edina me catch say mu leadership no. Omo de mo ya politics. Yanko back to the video. 7 hours. I just want to show you some part of Ralph Ebaya Okoye. It's wrong with the Ghana Registered Nurses Association for me. Oh, so we had a one that hold down into my white takatano. So we Aberwana no. Oh, so not a Honda Kunyan so and I'm into my white takatano. Ralph bar back now, Obekachom say, what kind of work are you doing here? People need assistance. And a nurse in Mumu warning and all retaliate in the same language. That part now is see wohona a honumuku try and on the brebo. It is a guy this guy went to the hospital and told them to ignore everything that happened and cut that small piece and share it to the public. And they used that to destroy the minister. That is what they did. 7 hours. So what they did was that Akwa Weko Hospital and Okakachiromo say they need the footage, but just our part sa part of media no one can say minister ne fault. Now Ralph Akobu Obiekuno omuwie no mko dress nurse ne beka chem say Ralph butu nurse ne kuno. This is the guy who did that job. Footage in other angle na me achiro no. But you see from the beginning they didn't show you anything. And there is more. Over 7 hours now soon. This guy is a very dangerous guy. My member last hour in Chirobium. Abruano da kunyo da honda so time Ralph ba Oka say, what are you people doing? What is happening here? The nurse was rather insulting Ralph. And then the man back and say, and nobody has this footage. I am in Quantum what this footage. I'm the only platform I want this footage. Make a seminar HH. Now this is the video again. Wait, and the coach has a video to buy. Or then the coach that angle now. Sa 1 minute no be chema Paula the mochi or the ma sempa or the ma joy news or chema media houses no. And I'll say go after the minister because the target is the minister, is the government, and your politics no more. And it's a money for no. They are using you people. They don't need to lead anybody. Watch the video again. How many police officers did you see? 2. So Ralph ko bonus bi ko tietiana. 2 policemen, they could not arrest Ralph. You saw 2 policemen there. I don't agree with what he did. But there were 2 policemen at post. Sir, akwawe, jena no all kind of radio no so. Ose minister ni mum police officer na or protecting mum ne meche Ralph. On politics oye. In the interview, no, or catch a girl and say, I then a minister now or bar the next day, no, or no mum, some minister no mum, police officer na enche Ralph. But incident happen here, no, not police officers too, no, into the issue, no, a management and I say a minister issue. There were 2 policemen, one was armed. It is a Ralph and Parampara say, oh, police a hospital and oh, butu next way boon in some, mother bet now. Sakwa when the coach video, first video, the babette no. And no, 1 minute, no, the ma will be I say, this is what happened. Ralph assaulting us in the There is no video of Ralph assaulting that nurse, no, better now, no. That nurse, no, boy. Wait, is the handwork of this guy. He went to cut that short video. He put that nurse there to act. This is the guy who did it. I have the 7-hour video. Me publish 7 hours video. Mama shedi na. We were a dangerous guy. And I'm talking to the young nurses in Ghana who join Sa Ekuwe. They're better for you. It is better for you people to leave this organization and tell these fools they are using you. And the Akwa generators to ADD Equiafatem. Say, na minister no Equianiana, hey, Equianino ye GRNMA wunya bidino. Kwasiawa when this application bottle I say, Eka and say, minister ni Equianiana. Yes, or Equiani. He is growing food for a fool like you to eat. Asema free na no ba. Asema a free na no eba. This guy on your obi a say nke tie no TV so. And then asem we by about 3 days mean can be because I wanted to get all the facts because I knew say obi your politics. I knew say some people wanted to just embarrass the minister and embarrass the government. Wait, the Juma na oh yeah no. That is what he did. Mumusa say CCTV footage na wa bontene na omde bae no sa no hwan de ba bontene. They will never tell you who released it. I don't know when show this part. I don't know when show the first part. I don't know when show BBR because they know say they don't have till date. Sa nurse na Ralph say or Ralph say abuna April and Sano. We don't have a footage of that. This man is a liar. We you for. the leadership of GRNMA, they are criminals. I'm telling you. And it hurts me because they are deceiving young people. They are deceiving young nurses. Nurse for 2 coin free Ghana. No, these people are not there to talk for them. The omo person we say omo salary ni bi no me abo omo bra. The fights they have with Akamba are 2 things. Akando. 1, it is because Akando has been going to hospitals without announcing and exposing the things they are covering up. And 2, Akando is not buying any car for them like the way Ajimamenu them used to do for them. That is their problem. And the agenda is there. How can a fool like this speak to a minister of state, a minister who is in charge of health? You call yourself a doctor and you sit on TV, on radio, and you speak to a minister this way. Who is your employer?
I think in this statement, it was not captured here, say, or more air for me committee, but subsequent interviews, Minister Kase were putting a committee together to investigate in Samoa a course. Adia Bakwe striking me in this statement and it said, Ministry said they want to investigate the circumstances that led to the reported delay in care. Like I said, most members in our hospital may have contributed to the course.
I've taken my also first thing okay, at least first, third, and fourth point. It makes sense. And what are the security implications? Well, you can't be properly unconscious. They kind of say, well, I mean, they are trying to beef up internal security. The police, they have a police post close to the mortuary and all that. All those people were there, and I started when you see it. And the security situation has not been improved, and we are not happy about that. At the time, here my tiny second point. Minister, who said there are systems over there. If he doesn't understand, he should get somebody to educate him. And I make a choice. Triage system, so they are yes, Obi, don't buy out. Maybe can't buy into the shame.
Yeah, Doc, I get you, but I think because
triage, Nia, who said, "Oh yeah, Reno, a immediate care," and I say, a delayed care as compared to others. If you shall know the immediate care, they will attend to you immediately. So, open my by time, I share others, and I say they will neglect you. They will give you first aid or whatever, but they will attend to other people who need.
These are the people leading the Ghana nurses and midwives in Ghana. And I'll tell the minister to be very resolute. He should not allow these fools. He's doing a good job. He is protecting Ghanaians. For him to just even decide to take immediate action, to take a step to try and make sure things are resolved, it's even encouraging to we Ghanaians, the patients at the hospital, and even some of the nurses there. These are termites. They are political insects. We are not supposed to give them. My advice to go to the young nurses, I'm joining this group. They have used you people to build houses. They take these positions so that they can get opportunities to take their people to Europe, America, to study there. They take these positions to use you as the bait so that they don't care about you. When was the last time you were able to talk to this guy about your concern? In Supeko area hospital, when was the last time they reached out to you to know how you feel there? No. They will tell you, say, go through the channel because they are the bosses in Accra. They are the ones who have to drive the V8. They are the ones who have to sit with the minister. But this guy is in Accra insulting the minister. He insulting the minister, no? Or take credit the minister at them, no? The lowest part of the ecosystem, no? Then Albania. You put this guy there as your negotiator. You take this position as a negotiator for nurse for. Now you the negotiator, you are sitting on national television telling minister and say, "Oyekwasia no Ukrainiana." You are fighting your personal political battles. Now, I'm saying I can't say GRNMA, my boss, no, etukwa kwa bruche, na oya visa scandal, akwawe, na odi, sa position on yan be 2 weeks, no, na odi ye visa man kofo, akwawe. That is why the position of Mutino, I can't buy na omo space, no. That is why they have ganged up. Missing and see I'm a president to 2 kwano, akwawe be show, na odi sa office na ye visa fraud, this guy. That is why they don't want the position to go. You people should start talking and thinking. And yes, let me tell you people, this is the same government that built Ridge Hospital. This is the same NDC that built UGMC. This is the same NDC that built all the hospitals that you are seeing, majority of them in Ghana. So I'm on pennes ni ya on see UGMC MNS ni ko Bank of Ghana hospitals, sa regional hospitals, say aban anasa party ni MPUNS ni ya on yes facility ni mao. The people leading your cause are sucking you dry. And this vampire eye fool, this bulky eye vampire, is one of the vampires that almost suck him dry. Every month, or salary bar, no matter. Every month, or salary bar, no matter. Omo akra. Then omo de ye, omo negotiate amount. Negotiation is saying, or some minister na bodamana or Ukrainiana. Where is the negotiation? But man to end there or better. Yatisicani at the bed, Yadbemano. Monsham, you are the ones I'm talking to, the young nurses. Mon nurse of one more sa a kunimuno. Mon start to advise some. This guy needs to resign. The president, they need to resign. And yes, sir, for the next 32 years, it's going to be tough. Because Wemo, only MPP surrogates, they are fighting their political battle. And the video evidence, I bet you. Show everything about this. We are publishing a 7-hour video footage. Ghana for you. This guy is a fool. The nurses should rise up. Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, just an association. Just an association. It's the same as Kako Sellers Association. Do not allow them to intimidate you. No. They are making money out of you. They are using you young nurses to make millions. These are criminals. How can such a person negotiate on your behalf? Or did the minister attempt, or some minister Ukrainiana, minister Nimunyansa, let our minister Trabanyansa, how can this fool negotiate on your behalf? I'm asking you a simple question. How can this guy and his boss negotiate on your behalf? Because omo party ni power. Because they are fighting a personal battle. Makachiro next now Shemino. Makachiro Ghana for. I'm doing my part, and I'll use the facts to do my job. My job here is to keep the NDC in power for 42 years. Your job is to listen to the truth, because you and I, we are all messengers. You and I, we are all messengers. Messengers who are ready and willing to speak truth to power. Messengers without a Quran or a Bible. Our job is to speak the truth, irrespective of who is before us. Tomorrow, we will publish the video. We will give you access. Watch it. Make your own judgment. But the message here is, be careful of the red eye, big eyeball vampire. This guy is a vampire. He's a drunk vampire. He's thirsty. He's a politician. He's not there for you people as nurses. He's there for himself. You guys should be very careful. My name is Kelvin Taylor. It's been a wonderful night.
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal le Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.